So, uh, so when Duryodhana criticizes Vidura, Vidura understands that it is better for me stay away from all these people who are actually envious of the Supreme Lord and the devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Pandavas. Then, giving up his responsibility, he leaves Hastinapur. He goes on pilgrimage for many years. He goes on pilgrimage for 36 years, as long as Yudhishthir Maharaj was ruling. And now, after the departure of the Lord Krishna and Yadus, now Vidura is meeting Maitreya at the end of 36 years. So basically, from the time when Pandu became the king and Vidura became the minister, his curse tenure has started. And in 10 years, Pandu renounced the kingdom and went to forest. Arjuna was born. And when Arjuna was 90 years old, the peace mission, Lord Krishna coming to Hastinapur, happened and eventually war started. So 90 years after the birth of Arjuna, 10 years before the birth of Arjuna, like that. For 100 years, Vidura acted as the minister for Dhritarashtra. And in those 100 years, by Dhritarashtra and the sons of Dhritarashtra, Vidura was always kind of criticized or ill-treated as the son of Shudrani. So this 100 years, he acted as the son of a Shudrani for the curse of Mandavi Rishi. But before that, he was simply a student in the school of Bhishma, directly studied under Bhishma. And after that, he has no more identity such as Shudra's son, etc. etc. He was simply traveling all over pilgrimages, a place of pilgrimage. He was known as a sage. So he has nothing to do identify himself with the son of Shudrani, etc. etc. So these 36 years as his own excursion in various holy places. He was traveling to different holy places. Finally, now he has come to Haridwar and hearing from Maitreya Rishi. So this was all about Vidura, who was Vidura and what was his, uh, how this Mandavya Rishi Shapa acted upon Yamaraj. He was actually Yamaraj in his identity. Then Maitreya continues, Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Sammata Sanugasya Yasya Jnanopadeshena Yasya Jnanopadeshaya Madishad Bhagavan Vrajam. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Sammata Sanugasya. Though in your original identity you are Yamaraj, one of the Devatas, one of the principal Devatas, who was actually acting on behalf of the Supreme Lord, serving the Supreme Lord by punishing the sinful people. At the same time, you are also Sa Anugasyaha. You are one of the eternal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Sammata Sanugasyaha. I consider that, I understand that you are not a ordinary person. You are one of the eternal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is your greatness. You have appeared here in order to assist Lord's pastimes. And that Supreme Lord, to whom you are one of his eternal associate, to whom you are one of Ananya Bhakta, to whom you are one of a great devotee who always thinks about that Supreme Lord, Yasya Jnanopadeshaya Madishat Bhagavan Rajan. The Supreme Lord, before departing from this world, he had left me with some instructions which are supposed to be given to you. Yasya, Yasya means to you, Jnanopadeshasya, in order to give Upadesha of Jnana, some knowledge, Madishat Bhagavan Rajam. The Supreme Lord gave that knowledge to me, that which should be given to you, which should be spoken to you before departing from this world. So here indicates that though Vidura has come to Maitreya to understand what the Supreme Lord spoke to both Uddhava and Maitreya before he departed from this world, but he did not ask that question directly. But Maitreya is telling that Lord spoke to me many things in order to give that information to you because you are one of the Lord's eternal associate. Lord actually remembered you before departing from this world. So in that way, Maitreya Muni tells, whatever Lord has spoken that essence, now I'll speak to you. In that way he starts. Atate Bhagavallila Yogamayoru Brahmita Vishwastiti Vishwastiti Udbhavantartha Varnayami Anupurvasha. But before discussing what Lord told me, I will answer to your specific query. You have specifically asked me about the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this universe by the Purusha avatars. That question first I will answer, and eventually will ask the message which Supreme Lord left with me that should be passed on to you. Atate Bhagavad Leela. This is the Bhagavan's Leela. Yoga Mayoru Brahmita. Yoga Maya Uru Brahmita. Yoga Maya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead's internal potency. Uru means the great potential Supreme Lord. Her expansion, which is called Mahamaya, which actually causes Brahmit, which actually bewildered the people of this world. And you implying that Mahamaya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does Vishwa, Sthiti, maintenance, Udbhava, creation, Udbhava, Antarartha. Antarartha refers to annihilation. That Supreme Personality of Godhead using Mahamaya, who is an expansion of Yogamaya, creates, maintains, and annihilates this universe. Varnayami Anupurvasha. Now, I will describe this pastime in sequence, the way it happened, as I have heard from my Guru Maharaj, Maitreya. Whatever I have learned from Maitreya and Lord Krishna, that I will repeat to you now. Like that. Sorry. Whatever I learned from my Guru, that is Parashara Muni, and also from Lord Krishna, that I will repeat to you by describing the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the entire universe. Because this was the specific question asked by you in that way. भगवानेका आसेदम् अग्रात्मात्मनां विभु आत्मेच्छानुगताौ आत्मा नानामति उपलक्षणा. भगवान एक आसेदम अग्र atmatmanam vibhu. Agra, before the beginning of the creation, there was only one Bhagavan. Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead was existing. There was no one. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse number 8, Aham sarvasya prabhava mattam sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajanti mam budayo. Um, so basically, he says that Aham sarvasya prabhu, I am the source of everything. Mattam sarvam pravartate. By my presence as Paramatma, everything is operating. Iti matva bhajanti mam Buddha bhava samanvita. Those intellectual people who understand this, they will actually engage in my devotional service. So in that way. So in that purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes various references that referring to all the Upanishads and the Vedic literatures. At the beginning of the creation, only Lord Vishnu was existing. There was no Brahma, there was no Shiva, there was no Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, there were no Devatas, there are no material universes. There was only Supreme Lord. So, like that, so many verses indicate that only Supreme Lord existed before the creation of the universe. Vasudevo va idamagra asina Brahma nacha Shankara. Vasudevo va idamagra. Before the creation of this universe, only Vasudeva existed. Na Brahma, na Shankara. There was no Brahma, there was no Shankara. Eko Narayana eva sinna Brahma na Eshana. Brahma Neshana. Basically said that only Narayana existed before the creation of this world. Neither Brahma nor Shiva existed. Atmai Vedamagra Asid. Only the Paramatma alone existed before the beginning of the creation. So like that, various proofs have been mentioned in the purport of that verse of Bhagavad Gita. Even Prabhupada also quotes here in this part, some of them, but not all. But in the Bhagavad Gita verse, there are many more references. So basically, he says that Bhagavan Eka Asedam Agra. At the beginning of the creation, I alone existed. The Bhagavan alone existed. And Maitreya says that this Bhagavan is also called by some other people as Paramatma, Atma Atmanam, who is the Atma of all the Atmas. The yogis call him as Paramatma. The yogi said that there was only Paramatma existed before the creation of this world. Paramatma created this world. Paramatma maintained this world. Paramatma annihilated this world, like that yogis say. And Jnanis will say only Brahman existed at the beginning of the creation. Here Vibhu means Brahman. Only Brahman existed before the creation. It is Brahman creates this entire universe. So like that. It is Brahman who creates, it is Brahman who maintains, it is Brahman who annihilates this entire universe. Everything merges into Brahman after annihilation. Like that. The Jnanis will say Brahman is the source of everything that is there in this world. And devotees will say Bhagavan is the source of everything that is there in this world. So like that, different practitioners will say according to their process, who is the source of this world. Of course, three of them are same. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, both are, all three are same only. So that Supreme Lord, he was alone before the beginning of the creation of these material universes. Atme chanu gatau atma nana mati upalakshata. So he was Atma, Atme cha anugatau. He says that when there was no desire in his mind that he wanted to create. Actually, that time Karnadaksha Vishnu was in Yoga Nidra. He was not so he was not thinking about creation at that time. So thus he was alone existed at that time. Nana mati upalakshata na anugatao. So desiring to become many universes or desiring to become many living entities was not existing at that point of time. Thus he was alone existing as the Bhagavan by devotees, as the Paramatma by yogis, as the Brahman by Jnanis. So that one Lord, when he desired to create, then what happened? Sava esha tadadrishta napashyadrishyameva raekarat mene santamivatmanam supta shaktir asuptaduk. So that Lord, when the desire to create manifested, he looked around, because for him to create unlimited number of universes, unlimited variety of living entities within each and every universe, he need Maya Devi. So he looked around for Maya Devi, through which he would create all the universes. But that time, na pashyad drushya mekarat, he could not see Maya Devi around. Maya Devi was not there. Mene asantam ivatmanam supta shaktir asuptadruk. Because Maya Devi was in deep slumber, so he could not find her, so he was not feeling happy. Because now it is time for creation. When he was not able to find Maya Devi through which he wanted to create, he was feeling unhappy. Then, by his will, Maya Devi suddenly woke up so that the creation can start. That is mentioned in the next verse. Savayetasya samdrashtu shakti sad asadatmika maya nama mahabhaga yedam nirmame vibhu. Maya nama mahabhaga. Oh my dear great soul, her name is Maya. She is called Maya Shakti. Sava etasya samdrashtu. Then Maya Devi suddenly woke up and she came in front of Lord Vishnu. She came in the visibility of Lord Vishnu. That is Karnadaksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu. So this Lord Vishnu is the first Purusha, the Karnadaksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu. So by the will of the Supreme Lord, when he wanted to create all the unlimited number of universes, Maya Devi suddenly woke up and came in front of Lord Vishnu. And she is called as Shakti Sad Asad Atmika. She is the potency of the Supreme Lord, who is the source of cause and effect. All the causes and effects that take place in this material world. She is the source of all those things that will happen in this material world. So now, with the help of this Maya Shakti, Yayedam Nirmame Vibhu, that Vibhu, who is also called as Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahman, will create unlimited variety of universes with unlimited variety of living entities. So this is how at the beginning creation started. So then it says that Kalavritya tu mayayam gunamayam purushenatma bhutena viryam adatta viryavan. Kalavritya tu mayayam gunamayam adokshaja purushenatma bhutena viryam adatta viryavan. Purushena atma bhutena. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in his first Purusha expansion, or as Mahavishnu, or as Karnadokshay Vishnu, who is also called as the super soul of all the living entities, super soul of Prakriti, and that Supreme Lord impregnated Maya Devi with his Kala Shakti and also with all the variety of living entities. Here, Viryam refers to all the variety of living entities who are supposed to be born in this material world. They were impregnated into the womb of Prakriti. Kala Vrutyatu Mayayam Gunamayam Adokshaja. Here Adokshaja is word is used because Lord impregnated Maya Shakti through his glands. Through his glands, he impregnated Maya Shakti with his Kala Shakti, Kala potency, and with his Jiva Shakti. Viryam refers to Jiva Shakti, Kala Vrutya refers to Kala Shakti. And with these two, Mahamaya was impregnated by Karanodakashaya Vishnu. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 14, so it is mentioned that Mahat Brahma, Mama Yonir Mahat Brahma, Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham. Mama Yonir Mahat Brahma. The great expanse of material nature or Prakriti or Pradhana is my place of impregnation, into which I impregnate all the living entities who are supposed to take birth in this material world. Mama Yonir Mahat Brahma. Here Mahat Brahma refers to Mahamaya. Mama Yoni is the place of my impregnation. Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham. Into which I have impregnated Garbha. Here Garbha refers to Hiranya Garbha or Viryam. That is nothing but Jiva Shakti. All the variety of living entities. They were all impregnated into Maya by his glands. By his glands only, the Supreme Lord impregnated Maya Devi with his Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti. So that is indicated in this verse. Then what happened when the Supreme Lord impregnated her with Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti? By the interaction of Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti with Mahamaya, or she is also called as Prakriti or Pradhana, Tato Abhavan Mahattatvam Avyaktat Kala Choditat Vijnanatma Dehastam Vishwam Venjam Stamonudam. It says that Tato Abhavan Mahatattvam Avyaktat Kala Chodita. In due course of time, by the interaction with the Kala Shakti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and with the Jiva Shakti, which is impregnated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Avyakta refers to Pradhana or Mahamaya. Mahamaya gave birth to Mahatattva. Or Pradhana or Prakriti gave birth to Mahatattva. What are the qualities of Mahatattva? Vijnanatma Deyastam. The quality of Mahatattva is endowed with pure goodness. Here Vijnanatma Deyastam indicates it has the quality of pure goodness. Mahatattva embodied the quality of pure goodness. Vishwam Vyanjam Tamonudam. And from this Mahatattva, the entire universe will be manifested in due course of time. The first thing that appeared from Prakriti is Mahatattva, which is endowed with pure goodness. That is what is indicated here in this verse. Then, eventually, like this, the next set of verses, they will indicate that eventually, in due course of time, by interaction with Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti, which entered into the womb of Prakriti, the Prakriti starts giving birth to various elements. First, Mahatattva is born, and then eventually, in due course of time, Sopi Amsha Guna Kalatma Bhagavad Drishti Gochara Atmanam Vyakarod Atma Vishwasyasya Sishrikshaya. So here it says that so api amsha guna kalatma Bhagavad Drishti Gochara. Under the supervision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Karnodakshaya Vishnu is glancing upon Prakriti, that glance which transmitted is Kala Shakti and Guna Shakti, is Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti, which entered into Pradhana or Prakriti. They are continuing to interact with Maya Devi. Atmanam Vekarod Atma Vishwasya Sisrikshaya. In the matter of creating the entire universe, first Mahatattva was born, and eventually by further transformation of Maya Devi, further transformation of the Pradhana, it will give birth to Ahankara. Atmanam Vyakarod Atma. That has further transformed and will give birth to Ahankara. That is mentioned in the next verse. Mahatattvad vikurvanat at aham tattvam vijayata कार्यकारणकर्तात्मा भूतेन्द्रिय मनोमयम वैकारिकस्तैजसश्च तामसश्चेदि अहम त्रिदा. It says that Mahatattvam vikurvanad aham tattva vijayata. Eventually, in due course of time, from Mahatattva appeared aham tattva. Aham tattva refers to Ahankara. By the interaction of Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti with Pradhana, first Mahatattva was born, and eventually in due course of time, Ahankara was born. Aham Tattvam, it is called Ahankara was born. And this Ahankara embodies three energies, Karya, Karana, Kartatma, or they can also be called as Karya, Karana, Kartatma. They can also be called as Dravya Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Jnana Shakti. Kartatma is Jnana Shakti, and Karana means Kriya Shakti. Karya means Dravya Shakti. So they can also be called as Karya refers to Adi Bhuta, Karna refers to Adhyatma, Kartatma refers to Adi Deva. Basically, it is actually it is said that Karya is the effect, Karna is the cause, and Kartatma is the doer. Basically, she has three energies. Instead of remembering all technical, we can remember that Dravya Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Jnana Shakti. From this Dravya Shakti comes Pancha Mahabhutas, Bhuta. From the Karya Shakti comes, Karya Shakti or Dravya Shakti comes for Pancha Mahabhutas, and Karana or Kriya Shakti comes Indriya. All the variety of senses will appear. 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas will appear, and Kartatma or Jnana Shakti appears mind, and the devatas who will supervise the activities of all the senses. The devatas appears from the Kartatma or Jnana Shakti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And these three energies embody Vaikarika, Taijasa, Tamasa. Jnana Shakti as mode of goodness, Kriya Shakti as mode of passion, and Dravya Shakti as mode of ignorance. The three modes of material nature are embodied by three energies of Supreme Lord. That is, mode of goodness is there in Jnana Shakti, which will give birth to mind and various devatas. Mode of passion is embodied by Kriya Shakti, which will give birth to 10 senses. And mode of ignorance embodied by Dravya Shakti, which will give birth to the 5 Pancha Mahabhutas. So like that, from Ahankara, all these things will appear one after the other. That is also further mentioned. Aham tatvadi kurvanan mano vaikarikadabhut vaikarikaschaye deva artabhi vyanjanam yata. It says that aham tatvad vikurvanad. By the transformation of aham tattva, by the transformation of ahankara, mano vaikarikadabhut, mind appeared. Mind, this is actually refers to ahankara in the mode of goodness gives birth to mind, and also it gives birth to devatas, the various devatas who will look after the activities of various senses. And by the presence of these devatas, artha abhivenjanam yata, all the sense objects become revealed to the senses. For example, the devatas such as sun god appeared from ahankara in the mode of goodness. As long as sun is there, I will be able to see things around me. I'll be able to see so many chairs and so many things in this room, and all of you when we are sitting in the same hall, etc., etc. Only when there is sunlight or any light in any form, electricity light or any agni or anything, moonlight or anything, I can only see people. When there is no sunlight, I will not be able to see any person. So like that, these devatas will reveal all the sense objects to us. That is what is indicated. Artha refers to tanmatras, the 5 sense objects, become experienced by us only by the presence of these devatas who appeared from the Hankara in the mode of goodness. Tejasanindriyanyeva jnanakarmamayani cha. Tejasa jnana karma mayani cha. Tejasa, from Ahankara in the mode of passion, there appeared Indriyani, the 10 senses. They are called 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. The 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas appeared from the Ahankara in the mode of passion. Tamaso Bhuta Sukshmadir Yathakam Lingamatmana. Then, from Ahankara in the mode of ignorance, Bhuta Sukshmadir, the subtlest element of all the Pancha Mahabhutas with their qualities appeared at the very beginning. Bhuta Sukshmadir means the highly subtlest of all the elements is Akasha. Akasha's quality is sound. So first sound appeared from the Ahankara in the mode of ignorance. Then from that sound, Kham Lingam Atmana, ether appeared. So Acharyas explain that the first element which is appeared from Ahankara in the mode of ignorance is sound. When sound appeared, for the sound to travel from one place to other place, the medium should be there. The medium for the sound to travel from one place to other place is Akasha. When the sound is manifested, the medium, the pathway for the sound to transmit Akasha also manifested. And this sound is called Lingam Atmana. Basically, through sound we'll understand the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we hear from Vedic literature, we understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We understand who we are, who the Supreme Lord is, what is the relationship between the Supreme Lord and us. So this is the one of the important quality of sound. So this sound first appeared from Ahankara in the mode of ignorance. Then Kalamayamsha Yogena Bhagavad Vikshitam Nabha Nabaso Anushrutam Sparsham Vikurvan Nirmame Nilam. Then by the interaction of Kala and also Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti with Amsha Yogena, the sub components of Mahamaya, They are called mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. By the interaction with the interaction of Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti with Mahamaya, from Nabasa, from that sky which was produced from sound, appears Sparsha. The next element appeared is Sparsha. The ether gives birth to Sparsha. And for the Sparsha to transmit from one place to other place, Anila manifested. The pathway, air manifested. The carrier of the sensation, touch sensation, air, appeared from Sparsha by the mutual interaction of Kala Shakti, Jiva Shakti with Maya Shakti. And then after the thus, how many created? First Shabda came, then Akasha came, then eventually Sparsha came, then Anila, Vayu came, air came, then Anilopi Vikurvano Nabasoru Balanvita Sasarja Rupa Tanmatram Jyotilokasya Lochanam. Then by the interaction of Kala Shakti, Jiva Shakti with Maya Shakti, and also from Akasha and air appeared. By the interaction of Akasha, also from the air appeared Rupa Tanmatra. The form appeared. For the form to transmit from one place to other place, Jyoti Lokasya Lochanam. Jyoti refers to sun. Sun appeared. It is only by the presence of sunlight I'll be able to see things around me. The thing may be there at a far distance, but that information comes to my eye only when there is sunlight around. That is what is indicated. Jyotir Lokasya Lochanam. The eyes of all the people of this world become useful in seeing various forms only in the presence of sun. That is what is indicated here. So like that, one after the other, first sky sound came. From sound, it's via medium, ether came. From ether, there appeared sparsha, touch. For the touch, the via medium, then appeared air. From air, there appeared rupa or form. For form, the via medium is sunlight, or the sun appeared next. Adile, or we can also say earth, water, fire. That Jyotisha also refers to fire also. It is fire which emits light, that by which we can see things. Anilenanvitam Jyoti Vikurvat Paravikshitam Adatambarasamayam Kalamayamsha Yogata. By the interaction of Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti with, along with Akasha, air, all these things are interacting with Anila. Anila means fire. Fire. And that fire will give birth to Rasa. Rasa, the taste. For the taste to transmit from one place to other place, there appeared water. Adatta Amba. Amba refers to water. So first taste appeared. For the taste to transmit from one place to other place, water also appeared. Jyotishambonu Jyotishambonu Samsrishtam Vikurvad Brahma Vikshitam Mahim Gandhagunam Adat Kalamayam Shayogata. So by the interaction of Kala Shakti, Jiva Shakti with Maya Shakti, along with Akasha and air and fire, as they interact with water, that water will give birth to Gandha. Gandha means fragrance. And for the fragrance to go from one place to other place, Mahi appeared. Mahi means earth. So earth is the carrier of the fragrance. Basically, whatever comes out of the earth in the form of basmati rice or the wonderful flowers, which are the source of wonderful fragrance. They are all manifested from earth only. In that way, the via medium for the fragrance to go from one place to other place is earth. Initially, the fragrance is hidden in the seed. When the seed is sown in the land, it becomes a big tree and it's filled with lot of flowers, and flowers will emit lot of fragrance. So in that way, earth is the via medium of the fragrance, which will allow the fragrance to go from one place to other place. In that way, so like that, first Shabda, then Akasha, then Sparsha, then air, Rupa, then fire, then Rasa, then water, then Gandha, then Prithvi or Mahi. Like this, five Tanmatras and five Panchabhutas appeared one after the other from the Ahankara in Tamoguna. Like that, all that elements are manifested. Bhutanam napadinam यद्यद्भाव्यावरणारण तेषां परानु samsargat yata sankyam gunavida. It says that as you come from the top to bottom, starting from Akasha, air, fire, water, and earth, the subsequent elements, in addition to possessing their respective quality, also possess the previous qualities. Akasha has only one quality called as Shabda. The air has two qualities. One quality is Sparsha, its own quality, and the quality of Akasha, that is Shabda also. The air has both Sparsha and Shabda. And the fire has three qualities: Rupa, Sparsha, and Shabda. If you happen to see a fire, a big bonfire on Makar Sankranti, which we generally have, if you see fire, we can see the light by which we can see all around people around us, and we can also hear some sound, chitpat, 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 and we can also experience warmth. The experiencing warmth is Sparsha, hearing some sound, chitpat, chitpat is Shabda, and seeing all around us is Rupa. In that way, then water has, in addition to these three qualities, Rasa also. Water has taste. If we happen to go to a dam, and especially in the rainy season, when water is falling down from the top, we can actually experience all these five. When water is falling down from the top, there is sound, and there are also water droplets will come and touch us. There is sparsha, soft, very soothingness, and we also see the waterfall, and we also experience the taste of that water, like that. And finally, earth. The earth embodies five qualities. Earth has sound, earth has touch. When you touch the earth, sometimes earth is warm, sometimes earth is cold, etc., etc. And earth also has um, rupa. It is a physical form. Earth also has taste, and earth also has fragrance. Like that, as you go downward, all the upper qualities are also manifesting in this thing, like that. So very soon it is going to be disconnected. All of you are requested to connect back. So this is the last verse for today's discussion. We'll stop here. Then we'll continue from next verse onwards. The prayers will start. Here it says that